Welcome to the Green Hat Local SEO Podcast, where Kyle Sabraw delivers hard-hitting, actionable tips and strategies to help business owners dominate their local market and crush the competition. Kyle's no-holds-barred approach cuts through the noise of traditional SEO, focusing on battle-tested tactics that deliver real results. He's here to arm you with the tools you need to skyrocket your rankings, generate more leads, and grow your business online. If you're tired of hearing the same old SEO nonsense and want to learn the truth, this is the podcast for you. Get ready to put on your green hats and learn SEO secrets the other guys can't handle. Now,
hi, this is Kyle from the Green Hat Local SEO Podcast, and this episode we're going to talk about something that that I think a lot of people know that they need to do, but are not using it properly, just because there's so many differing opinions out there, and that is press releases. So, press releases have been a really big part of SEO for as long as I've been in it. I would say probably 2010. I really started seeing people make heavy use of press releases. Back then, Google's algorithm was a lot less sophisticated, and you could literally just get away with, even then, shooting as many links to your site as possible, and just getting more links than your competition would get you onto the first page. And press releases were a really easy way to do this. Then Google started really kind of hammering press releases. Because there were a lot of different providers out there, and these press releases then became heavily devalued in the way that people were using them, which again was just a way to get as many links as possible to your site. And unfortunately, they got a bad rap because of that. But I'm here to tell you that the SEOs and the businesses that are doing really well in their rankings and really getting results in local SEO are ones that are making heavy use of press releases. And here at the Green Hat Local SEO Agency, we do use press releases a lot. We have our own distribution. In fact, previously I owned a separate press release company and decided to roll that into Green Hat Local SEO, where we provided press releases for other agencies. We've kind of stopped doing that, and we're only doing it for our own clients now. But press releases can be a huge part of your SEO strategy and link building strategy if you use them properly. So one of the ways that we use press releases here to get results for our clients is, yes, as a source of links, but we don't use it as the only source of links. So for our link building strategy, it really is you can think of it as a triangle. So we think of links as how many links are going to your page total and your GBP total. Then what are the strength of the links, and then are the links contextual, right? So where I see some people go wrong with link building is they'll just get one or two really killer guest posts, and they'll pay $1,000 for these and think it's going to skyrocket them to, number one in their 5-mile radius, or number one for something fucking stupid like buy Kratom online. And that's just not how that works, right? So you can get a couple of those guest posts, but then you need to have a lot of what's called referring domains going over to your site too. You need a lot of different websites linking back to you, referring domains. And this is where a lot of people just don't get it. Or they'll get a press release of like, oh man, I got 400 referring domains to my site. Fuck yeah, I'm going to be ranking wherever the fuck I want. And again, that's not true. Because yes, these are referring domains. And yes, the domains themselves are high authority. But the press releases on those pages are not. The press releases themselves have very little trust or authority because they have no links going to them, right? So again, when we are looking at the backlink profile of our clients, we think, okay, do they have, some sort of authority on there? Do they have some, guest posts in the chat? What the fuck ever. SEO Neo is a great way to do that too. And if we see the competitors with more links, and we're like, okay, let's get some press releases. And then what we'll do, we'll write these press releases as if we wanted them to rank. And this is another place that people are not putting nearly enough effort in, is they'll write some bullshit press release about how they had some amazing quarter or whatever, with some 3 cents per word writer, and then they expect something fucking to happen, right? But that's not how this is, because remember, you need to have contextual relevance on these press releases too, right? So we rate these press releases as if we wanted them to rank for a keyword that the client is targeting. So if we have a client who is, let's say they want to rank for emergency plumber in San Diego, then we will literally write a press release called XYZ Plumber announces emergency plumbing services in San Diego. And then in that press release, we'll write 700 words, maybe even 800 words. We'll add in the entities and quadgrams in there as if we wanted that page to rank, right? So now all of a sudden, we have this press release that is shooting a bunch of referring domains over to a page, and Google understands exactly what this press release is and how it pertains to the client, because we're writing it as if we wanted it to rank, and oftentimes these things do rank. Press releases are a great quote unquote parasite SEO property, because if you rank them with something like Page Optimizer Pro or Quora, they're going to rank for the first page of a lot of local keywords. So now we have the referring domains in there. We have the contextual relevance in there with the content. And the last thing that we're missing, right, is that strength. Because like I said, the root domain of these syndication outlets have a lot of strength on them. But the press releases themselves don't, because they don't have, a lot of internal links maybe to them. A lot of times they have zero internal links to them. Sometimes these are on a subdomain, which again is almost like a completely different website and doesn't really siphon off a lot of authority from the root domain. So what do we do? Well, we shoot links over to these. We have a way of shooting links to these press releases to get some of that trust and authority and strength, whatever you want to call it, over to each individual press release. So now all of a sudden, our clients have 450, 500, sometimes 700, depending on how many links we need, going over to their page. It has the contextual relevance because we're writing this with the help of like Quora, right? Where we're getting the entities and quadgrams and shit in there. And then we're shooting backlinks over there. We are tiering backlinks over to the press releases. So now all of a sudden we're solving for all three sides of that equation. And this is a killer way to get, to turn your geogrids from yellow or orange to green. It's a killer way to get your page to the top of the organic search results. And again, you're going to get 2 or 3 of these ranking for that keyword. So imagine if a user saw you in the map pack, and then they saw your website in the organic, and then they saw 2 press releases in organic, right? I mean, it's killer. But that isn't going to happen unless you write a contextually relevant press release that is, meant to rank for a keyword. It's not going to happen if you use some $20 press release. Press release is going to cost money. You got to spend 100, 120, 150 bucks on these, right? And it's not going to happen unless you tier links to every single press release that has been syndicated. The other thing too that pushes a lot of power is embeds. So these press releases, for a lot of press release outlets, they'll get you 100, 150 or so embeds, right? Some other outlets or syndication companies will say, hey, look at you, 400, 500 embeds. And what a lot of people don't realize is, they'll get embeds on some of these what look like actual news outlets, but they're really just the company's PBN, which is fine. Embeds still push a lot of power, right? Just keep in mind, there's really maybe only 100 actual news outlets that will allow you to do embeds. A lot of outlets will not allow embeds, they only allow links. And a lot of the ones from like EIN Newswire don't allow embeds. Our syndication does allow embeds. And another great way to take advantage of press releases, like I said, is with embeds. So you want to embed your GBP on there. Get your GBP map embedded on there. That gives it, again, more contextual relevance. Then you're showing Google, hey, this GBP, this business is relevant on this page for this content with these links on there, right? But also, think about the other things you can embed on there. You can embed your website, right? You can embed some YouTube videos. You can embed SoundCloud. You can embed Reddit comments with links in them, right? Or you can do what we do. And what we'll do is we'll take all the previous press release URLs. We'll take those, we'll put them into a public Google sheet, we'll work our magic on there, and then we'll embed that on the next PR, right? So now all the 450 or whatever links previously generated by the previous press release now have 100, 150 or whatever embeds on the next press release. And that press release is going to get links tiered to it, right? So think about how much more power you're putting to your press releases when you interlink them, when you embed them like this, right? If you do this right, you're going to be unstoppable. And a lot of people aren't doing this. In fact, I think the only people who are doing this is us, and we're doing this for our clients. We're getting so much power through embeds into our press releases like that. The other thing too with these press releases is you're not going to see them work nearly as well for a service area business, because with these press releases, you're getting citations too. You're getting 450 citations on there, right? And citations are hugely important for physical location. But if you have a service area business, a lot of times people want to hide their address, so they're not going to put their address on there, and you're losing a lot of power there. So if you're a service area business, first of all, Google already knows where you are, right? Secondly, don't be afraid about putting your address on there, because you're going to get so much more power out of these press releases when you have an address on there, and Google can associate your address with this keyword, with this GBP, with this website, right? And if Google can associate all those things together and get that much more of an understanding of your website, what you do, who you are, I mean, think about how much trust that Google's going to imbue in your site, and that is super, super important. If Google doesn't trust you, then it's not going to show you in Google Maps, because it can't trust that you are who you say you are, that you do what you say you do, and you're located where you say you're located, right? So that is another way that people should be getting power out of press releases, but unfortunately they're not. So that's about it for this episode of the Green Hat Local SEO podcast. Again, if you want free until you rank SEO, go ahead and contact us at GHLS.io. Or if you want more tips like this, or if you just want to chat, then check out our free Facebook SEO group. Just search for the Green Hat Local SEO group. I'll be on there. Just chatting, giving out tips, more stuff like this I don't put on the podcast, and you'll be able to talk to some friends on there too. So again, my name is Kyle Sabra from Green Hat Local SEO, and I will talk to you guys later.